Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? I'm a little under the weather, so you can hear that I have a little bit of a stuffy nose. I'm also at work, so if you hear things in the background, that's what that is. I just wanted to come on and say, not every evaluator has your child's best interest in heart. And I say that because my kid, he needs speech therapy, right? I took him to get evaluated for his speech. Clearly, they're like, okay, he needs help with speech. But it was this one speech evaluator that she was rushing my son, and she was like, oh, he may be mild to moderate autistic. So now I'm like, okay, so now we have to get him evaluated for that to rule him out. So she's like, I'm going to send him to all these different kind of evaluations, physical therapy, conjugates, and another speech evaluator. And I'm like, okay. So we showed up to all these appointments, and all of them were like, your son is not autistic at all. And then we got him evaluated to see if he's autistic. He's not autistic at all. And even if he was, there's not a problem with that. But to say something so premature in that moment, I don't think was okay of her. And then she was talking about that the school that my son is currently in may not be the best school for him. And I'm like, my son currently goes to one of the best schools in New York City. And not that's to say that this school may not be good for him, but you spent literally like 10 minutes with him, and you rushed through the whole thing because you wanted to leave work early, so you wanted to get it over with. And within the 10 minutes of this observation of my kid, you came to a whole conclusion, and he passed everything else. And I really hate to say what I'm about to say, but it's always fucking black people. I am so sorry to say that, but it's always our own kind. I feel that it's always coming up with something against our kids, you know? I feel like every experience that I had personally with our own kind has not been pleasant. It has never, ever, ever been pleasant. This woman she's been in the business for 25 years, and this is what she do, and her son had a math disability, and she gave him programs and stuff like that. She had to take him out of the school that he was in to put him in a better school. So you're speaking from your own experience, which is understandable, again, and I respect that. But you cannot give an opinion all within 10 minutes and only seen him once. I was just so upset. And everybody kept telling me there's nothing wrong with your kid, there's nothing wrong with your son, you know. But as a mom, you want to make sure there's nothing wrong with your kid and there's nothing wrong with your child, and your child is healthy, and you're doing all that you can to make sure these things are, in order. But to scare a parent, to give them that fear in them just within that quick time frame, I find so unacceptable. And it's always our own kind. And I'm sorry to say that, and I know I'm probably gonna get chewed up inside and out. I love my black people. I do, and it's not all of us, but in my personal experience, what I have experienced with my own kind has never been pleasant. Never, not once, have been pleasant. We don't do each other favors for free. We don't look out for each other. It's always, what can I get from this person? I think I have like 2 black African American friends that are there for me the way that I am there for them, because we want to genuinely see each other win. When I see everybody else, that's our culture, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And I am the most open-minded person in the world. And it just breaks my heart. I can't repeat it enough that this is what I continue to experience from my own people. Yeah, from my own people. And I could count on my hands when outside my own race didn't do right by me. I could count on my hands. Okay? I could count on my hands. But I didn't come on here to say that. I came on here to say, know your child. Seek second opinions. Seek 3 or 4, 5 opinions before you just run off with the first opinion. Because that first opinion doesn't matter, black, yellow, white, Indian, it doesn't matter. I was just speaking from my experience about race. But it doesn't matter who they are. Get another opinion. Because people are not always right. And people come in and see something about you and don't want the best for you or your child. Okay? And that's the realest thing that I could say. Because I'm a first-time biological mom. Yeah, guys know that I have a stepkid, but it's very different. You know, it's very different. He had 3 to multiple people raising him. God bless him. Me, it's mommy and daddy. Okay? So, I really have to do my due diligence. That's why my friend has a speech impediment, because I can't talk. And I came on here from the beginning saying I can't talk and I can't pronounce words, so relax. But get multiple opinions before you decide to make one decision about your child or yourself. Anything. And if you feel like something is not right in your heart about it, don't go back to that individual. Dismiss that individual's opinion and seek someone that's really going to make sense of the situation, you know? So that's what I had to do. And thank God, nothing's wrong with my son, because I had to go through multiple evaluators and get multiple opinions. The only thing that's wrong with him, he does need speech, which we all knew that though. But to add everything else onto it, is like, for what? Nowadays, they want to diagnose these kids with autism. They want to diagnose these kids with ADHD. They want to diagnose these kids with everything under the sun except for, hey, you know what? This is their problem. Let's focus on this particular situation and everything else will fall into place. They're 2. They're 3. They're 4. They're 5. They haven't been on this God's green earth long enough to really know what is the problem with them. You know? Some things are clear in the very beginning. I'm not doubting that as well. And that's when you attack it full head on and stuff like that. But until you see the child multiple times, until you could come to a concrete conclusion about what is this child needs to be diagnosed with properly, and then you make your decision. But you don't do it all for 10 minutes because you want to rush and you want to get out of there. And my kid at the time didn't want to do what you was telling him to do. My son, Kason, let me tell you about my kid. My kid is headstrong. If he don't want to do something at the moment, let me tell you, he ain't going to do it at that moment until I get in his ass. Like, hey. Then he like, all right, my mom not playing. Let me act like I got some sense. No, he's headstrong. He's very independent. He wants to do things himself, his way. Like, he thinks he's a big boy. I'm like, Pa, you're turning 3 in September. Calm down. You have ways to go before you're fully independent, okay? Mommy knows best. Daddy knows best. Try listening. Your life will be easier. This is literally how I talk to him too, you know? Like, come on. Gotta listen. But does he not know what he's doing? He absolutely is aware. Does he not understand when his father and I speak to him? He absolutely does. He absolutely does. He's just headstrong. I think that he get that from his father's side. They hard-headed over there. But, you know, that's my kid. So I'm telling you, beautiful people, if your kids are grown, God bless you, you did amazing. These kids in this generation, these doctors in these generations, is different from when you grew up and from when I grew up and growing up, you know. It's just different. It's different times, and everybody wants to make a quick buck. So you really got to be careful who you send your kids to. If you have younger kids in this generation, you know, don't believe everybody in what they say, because it's not true. It's not true. Don't let people spark unnecessary fear in your heart about your child. And if it is, that's what it is. You tackle it on as you see fit. Get your baby the help that he or she needs. And that's what I was trying to do. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I am doing. You know? But I don't need something extra that's not there, that you have no right to diagnose my child with. Or any child with, at that. So, beautiful people, just be careful with the doctors. If you have young children, just be careful. Don't just go with that one opinion. Seek multiple opinions out, okay? And remember, people, if nobody love you, I love you, babe.